Despite overwhelming support from Democrats and Republicans, time is running out for Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act, which will keep AM radio in cars. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 2nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 98. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk some LSU football recruiting news, and a couple of Tigers made an All-American list. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in to Off the Bench, Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Seems like a great day to do radio, in my opinion. So let's do that, then. I am T-Bob Hebert, joined by Alondra and Teleshop, as Jake Hester is going to be out for the next couple of days. Old personal days for our guy, Jake. Getting done with the Senior Bowl, some Senior Bowl coverage over there in Mobile. And now, going to just, a little 4th of July week with the fam. We'll be with you today and tomorrow before we also take a couple of days off to celebrate this nation's independence. I got some fun Independence Day facts coming for you later in the program. Also, homework tonight, guys. I don't want to hear that you're too busy, because I have become that D-bag that has kids, and now I'm like, you're not allowed to be busy. You don't even have kids, which is an absurd place to be, okay? I fully admit it, and I recognize it. Y'all have to watch Independence Day tonight. Deal?
Does it count if we watched it yesterday?
That's fine.
It was on TV yesterday.
But I want a review. I want thoughts. I want you to really watch it. And I want some thoughts, and we can give our top Independence Day thoughts coming up tomorrow. We did this with Twister not long ago. It was very fun. Alondra, are you on board to watch Independence Day?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
What in the world is that hesitation?
Well, because I still haven't seen the House of the Dragon episode, and that takes like an hour. And then this movie is 2 hours and 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I'm getting home late tonight. So then, I'm thinking about, what time I need to go to bed. I'll watch it. I guess I'll wait. Yeah.
Have I made it clear?
Oh,
and to be fair,
House of
Alondra probably
the Dragon.
really doesn't have time because she's been doing double shift for what feels like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Is probably exhausted, so I don't want to be completely dismissive of that.
No, I will watch Independence Day, and then I'll download House of the Dragon, and I'll watch it on the plane.
There you go. This House of the Dragon episode, another
you
banger.
Watched it?
Yes, I watched it last night. Another banger. Look, the show's fantastic. I'm not even going to say anything else. I can offer up opinions after we maybe get some distance. But yeah, the show is, again, Game of Thrones at its absolute finest.
Heck yeah.
And it's only going to continue to descend into madness the more that it goes on. But y'all feeling well today? Y'all ready to go?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Why do you keep saying it's a good day? You keep saying that.
Sometimes you just gotta take. You You have to
gotta
load.
take the bull by the horns.
Sometimes you just got to take positivity. You got to heat it up on that spoon. You got to put a belt around your arm, and you just got to inject that positivity straight into your veins.
All right.
And so that's what I'm doing right now. It's calling faking it till you, well, just fake it till you make it. Faking it till you making it sounds dumb. But yes, fake it till, so yes, it is a great day to do radio because we're alive. We live in a country that I would be the first to admit is flawed, but still the greatest technological country that has ever existed. Probably the greatest country in terms of a kind of quality of life for the amount of people that have an acceptable quality of life. Now, obviously, there's a ton of people that don't have an acceptable quality of life for a resource. As I said, not perfect. But when I talk about 4th of July and I think about celebrating the country, I think that's what you do. I think you celebrate it. I think you have the rest of the year to be critical of that which you love and demand ways in which it should try to strive to get better. And I think that's also right. I think ultimate patriotism is being willing to critique and hold your leaders and your politicians and your country accountable and demand that it do better. But at the same time, you can't lose sight of what you do have. And I think that 4th of July is an excellent week to celebrate that. Celebrate the country in which we live. Celebrate those who have sacrificed in which to give us this country. Celebrate your family, your friends, your loved one, this rich history. And so, yeah, so it all just puts me in a very good mood. All right, let's get into a couple of Walter Camp All-Americans. That's right. Will Campbell named first team preseason All-American. No surprise there. The accolades for Will Campbell continue to roll in. Here's a couple of fun Will Campbell facts that I hadn't recognized. Will Campbell has started every game in which he's appeared at LSU, in which he's had a chance to start 26 starts in a row. Maybe more impressively, Will Campbell has played every offensive snaps in 15 of LSU's 17 games against SEC opponents. 15 of 17, every single snap. Probably one of the more underrated attributes of Will Campbell, his availability on display right there. And here's to hoping it continues on in this football season. Harold Perkins named second team All-American. And again, it's not hard to see why. His own stats are fantastic. Last year represented a step back only under the expectation that Harold Perkins had set for himself freshman year, right? Where he was otherworldly and he won you multiple football games. If you look at Harold Perkins' numbers last year for a normal player, like those would be great numbers. Like he was second team All-SEC and we think that last year he disappeared, right? That gives you an idea of just how high the ceiling is on this cat and how talented he is. And in fact, in these two players, remember, Will Campbell, I've never seen this before, as a true junior. He won't be 21 till January, right? We looked it up or something where they're at. Like, he'll play this entire year at 20 years old. And at offensive tackle, he is at the athletic, he is number one on the athletics draft big board. I've never seen it before. Harold Perkins is a defensive talent that has rarely ever been seen before. So when I'm reading about them making All-American and I'm just thinking about how good these guys are, I was kind of struck by this thought, which is, how will they be remembered? And it's something that if you think back through time, there's a difference in how you remember players who were just very good in maybe down eras and players who were very good on a team that achieved great team success. What's the old line from Sandlot? Heroes are remembered, legends never die. If you want to step into immortality, if you want to transcend hero status and achieve legend status, the only way to do that is through team success. And to be clear, it's not to say they haven't been successful, right? They entered at maybe the most transitional downtime in LSU football's history over the last 25 years, right? Since the kind of rise of the Saban era in 2000. Without a doubt, their freshman year was the most transformational, the most the most fraught with potential potholes and perils and new faces and whatnot. And they've done well. They beat Alabama. They won the SC West. They won 10 games 2 seasons in a row. However, while this is like great for many teams and very well, even for that of LSU, I mean, if you win 10 games 3 years in a row, when's the last time that happened? We looked it up. I think it was 10, 11, 12. So that would have been well over a decade ago. So again, I don't want to make light of what they've done, but ultimately you are remembered for championships and team success. Can they achieve that team success? Will Garrett Nussmeier go down as a really solid quarterback, or will he enter the pantheon of a Burrow? Now, Daniels actually did transcend because he won the ultimate award of individual success, right? But like, think about Matt Flynn, somebody not with overwhelmingly good stats, but a legend because he lifted that trophy. Now, I would argue this. Here in this year of our Lord, 2024, as we reforge all of college football from the ground up, the bar for achieving legend status and memorability is actually probably lower than it has ever been. As I said, in the past, you probably had to win an SEC championship. In the BCS area, you had to win one of those major 4 BCS bowls. In the playoff area, you had to make the playoff or win a championship, kind of akin to making a Final Four. I would argue you just make this 12-team playoff, and you kind of will be cemented as a legend, and this team will be remembered for a long time. So again, a bit of a lower bar to achieve that. I mean, if you make this 12-team playoff, let's say you even host a playoff game in Tiger Stadium in Death Valley, the hardest place to play in the country. And on like December 20th or whatever it is, you have Penn State coming to town. That is not something that will soon be forgotten. So these players, Will Campbell, Harold Perkins, us, I think these guys are great. And they're going to go on to be great in the NFL and have incredible individual success and make a ton of money. But they're going to have that no matter what. So the question is, how do they write their legacy this fall in the most transformational year of college football, where literally everything is different from the ground up? How are you going to be remembered? Can you step through those doors and achieve immortality? We'll see. We'll see. Coming up next here on Off the Bench, another number 1 quarterback in the entire nation putting LSU in his final grouping. We'll break it down here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Coleman Roof, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. That's for Coleman Roofing and Construction, man. And look, you need any type of roof. You need any size project, commercial or residential. You need it anywhere in the state, anywhere in the Gulf South region. You need Coleman Roof, okay? I say complete, reliable, and respected because those are the exact words that define everything that they do. The culture at Coleman Roof is one of my favorite. There's just an energy to these guys. They are constantly grinding, going the extra mile, all the platitudes when it comes to leaving no stone unturned and making sure that their customers are consistently satisfied. Okay, so put them to the test. You need custom metalwork, gutters, roof coatings, big warehouses, all of it. And how they built over the years off of word of mouth and referrals. That's why we're so proud to now be partnered with them and help spread the good word of the best roof company in Louisiana, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Charles Henniger, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. We do first class, second class, no class. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Christian says Perkins' numbers are almost identical in both his first two seasons. It just feels worse than it was because the defense was atrocious. That's a salient point there, Christian. I would argue, or not argue, I would maybe say, though, that the difference goes beyond just the defense being atrocious, though you're right. Maybe that is actually the most impactful reason. But I would say it's because not all numbers are created equally, right? Like we have this conversation a lot with Derek Carr. Right, what did Moscona start calling him last year? The empty yards emperor, or something along those lines. The thing about Daryl Perkins, the thing about Harold Perkins' freshman year was the numbers are good, like you said, the numbers are good both year. But freshman year, those plays situationally were mind blowing. Like they straight up won you games. Like Harold Perkins accounted for what felt like 2 to 3 SEC wins. Whereas last year, yeah, he might make a massive play on second down, but then they'd get it on 3rd and 15, right? And so it's just completely negated. And there weren't the big forced fumbles in the backfield. I mean, the Arkansas game 2 years ago, Harold Perkins straight up put the team on his back. Greg Jennings, was it Jennings who did that with the Packers?
Yes. The wide receiver?
Yeah. Greg Jennings. Here comes Darren Sharper. one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league. Sharper. Complicated. Not really complicated. Trash. Anyway. But yeah, so I mean, I think you get the point, right? So you make a pretty good point, but also it's the timing and the impactfulness of the plays. What do you think about that idea before we move on to the recruiting news? Taylor, what do you think about the idea of, and Alondra, you're welcome to have an opinion as well. I just know that Taylor, gets off to all this stuff. Do you agree with my assertion that the team, would the team achieve immortality simply with a playoff appearance? Or would they need to win a playoff game?
I think win a game.
Okay.
Win one game, especially if they're a lower seed. Let's say they don't win the conference and they're like a 10 or a 12.
Yeah, say they finish 10-2 and they're like
on the road and upset an Ohio State or somebody like that. Yeah, I think they need to win one.
Yeah, I mean, so you have Oregon winning the Big Ten then, if you have LSU as a lower seed playing Ohio State.
I was just throwing out names.
In this hypothetical, you would.
Sure.
Which, I mean, look, a lot of people do. In fact, remember the computers do.
I was just saying a road playoff win would be more impressive than home. So I was like, let's say they don't win the conference and all that.
So we'll see what ends up happening and kind of how it all shakes out over time. What is memorable is, does a 12-team playoff take on the guise of a like hanging a Final Four banner, or do you have to get to that Final Four to hang said banner? In LSU recruiting news, a couple of tidbits here. First off, the number one quarterback in the 2026 class, Faison Brandon, has LSU in his final group. A decision date is set for August 3rd, so about a month from today. And the finalists, LSU, Tennessee, Alabama, and NC State. He lives next to NC State, so kind of the hometown sneaking in there. He's had a ton of visits to NC State. And look, when Faison was asked about, so he visited all these schools in June, right? I want to say he's visited NC State the most, followed by Tennessee and LSU. They're about equivalent. And then Alabama's had a couple less visits than the other two has. But when he was asked about LSU and why they made their final grouping, one name continually popped up, and that was Joe Sloan. And like Bryce Underwood, the other element that he continually referenced is who is going to help me develop and who is going to turn me into an NFL-ready quarterback. And here's what he had to say on that. Quote, "That definitely is a main thing. Helping me become a better player and perform well and run an offense that really sets a quarterback up for playing in the NFL. That's what LSU does. When you look at a Heisman Trophy winner like Jaden Daniels, you see it. Coach Sloan does a great job with the offense that molds you for the NFL, the checks, the progressions, and all that. I could do it on my own from what he teaches his quarterbacks in college. I really like LSU a lot. I think of it as a great program with great people, and you got elite talent there. You have standard to win. Let's be clear. I don't see Faison committing to LSU, although he has said that he is not looking at depth charts. He is just going where he thinks he's the best fit. I think everybody's always looking at depth charts, right? And I think you have Garrett Nussmeier with a couple of years left potentially starting. You got guys like Bryce Underwood and Colin Hurley behind him. You would be joining a very crowded room. What that also means is, from a resource standpoint, I doubt LSU has the ability to offer Faison as much as some of these other schools would, right? Because you've already been paying Nussmeier even to retain him as a backup. That number has now gone up that he's a starter. And I'm sure Underwood's got some very nice numbers promised to him as well. Are you really going to pay a lot to keep three? And that's not even getting Hurley and others. Like, are you going to pay a lot to keep three quarterbacks on the roster? That is a kind of funny side note. I was talking to someone yesterday, and look, I think Nuss deserves all the credit in the world for sticking around. I also imagine he got paid a pretty nice penny to stick around and be the backup quarterback for an additional year. And now is going to have a chance to reap even greater rewards. So there is actual monetary incentive to waiting your turn if you still think you have long enough to make your impact. So whatever. I don't see Faison coming here, but I don't think that's the important part of this story. I think the important part of this story is the just out of nowhere continued rise of LSU as an offensive powerhouse and a quarterback factory. And Joe Sloan, even though he had nothing to do with Joe Burrow, Joe Sloan now being kind of painted as the mind behind it all. And what really jumps off the page to me is starting to play with hypotheticals and thinking about the future. What if Garrett Nussmeier just has a dominant year? If Garrett Nussmeier comes in here and kicks ass and is borderline All-American, doesn't have to win the Heisman, but, one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the entire country, well, that goes ahead and it cements Joe Sloan as that guy. If you are a young quarterback and you want to develop, you want to get NFL ready, all the things that Bryce Underwood and Brandon Faison are talking about here, if like right now, Joe Sloan, look, you could say, look, Jaden Daniels had a lot of coaching before Joe Sloan. Jaden Daniels had Mike Denbrock calling plays and coaching as well. Do it with two players, right? There's a few different not attack angles, but there's a few different angles in which you could argue that let's not make too much of what was lightning in a bottle with Jaden Daniels. But none of that holds water if all of a sudden Garrett Nussmeier is awesome. And slowly but surely, and then let's say Underwood's awesome or Hurley's awesome or whoever, right? Then all of a sudden you've got a bona fide, inarguable pedigree of the quarterback whisperer. And that's a great place to be. Look at all the good it did for Lincoln Riley until it kind of didn't. Though, again, we'll see how Miller Moss does this year and if he retains his own kind of title as quarterback whisperer. Like, you want to be in the market for any major transfers going forward? You want to be in the market for any number one quarterbacks going forward? Well, again, if Garrett Nussmeier has great success this season, it really validates and reinforces everything that Joe Sloan is telling to these young recruits. So a ton of heart and mind share to be gained with success with Nuss and this offense this year. Another interesting piece that I found on 3 today was from Shea Dixon in his tidbits section, and he was talking defensive backfield, mainly cornerbacks, and get into, okay, if the season started today, who would be your starting corners? And according to Shea, it's Ashton Stamps and P.J. Woodland, which we kind of said, I think, a couple of weeks ago as well. Stamps, who played a ton last year, has reportedly been bulking up in the offseason, feeling very ready to go. I thought it was interesting to read that apparently P.J. Woodland's kicking ass in these summer workouts. Hasn't missed a beat. We told you back during spring, anytime somebody comes out of nowhere like that and starts getting brought up unbidden in multiple interviews, that's kind of the guy that has that refuse to be denied sort of attitude. And, dominating summer workouts continues to kind of reinforce that. Also, I didn't realize this. P.J. Woodland, well, we may not have talked about him like a Toviano or somebody coming out of high school. He was the Mississippi 7A Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? Best defensive player in the entire state. This dude isn't nothing. Isn't nobody. Isn't like it's not like Tyrann Mathieu, who just like a lightning bolt came out of nowhere and blew everybody away. Like, he has some bona fides himself here coming out of high school. But maybe the most interesting, and look, Zy Alexander is still an unknown, as he'll be 9 months of ACL surgery by camp time. So that's just really tough to ask him to come back in form. And then Javian Toviano and J.K. Johnson are kind of viewed as your twos. Now, obviously, they can change that with a great camp. But maybe most interestingly, a new name has entered the mix. Taylor, do you remember the name Michael Turner?
Yeah, he signed as a wide receiver.
Yes. Also used to play running back for the Falcons, the burner. Well, he went back to high school, and he was a 4-star wide receiver out of John Curtis signee. Now, apparently, the plan was always for Corey Raymond to have him switch over to defensive back. That has now been done. He's 6'1", long, right? If you think back to Corey Raymond's favorite corners, they're all about 6'1", which seems to be the cutoff for, like, you can still move like you need to be able to move as a cornerback, but you could also still be maybe a bit longer than your average cornerback. And according to multiple sources, and Shea, he has, quote, been turning heads. And you can kind of roll your eyes at that, but I think there's something to be said for that, again, because the body type makes sense. Being a 4-star wide receiver out of Curtis, you know he has physicality. You know he has size. And he was he's being painted as kind of a sleeper pick, as somebody who maybe by mid-season could force his way into this lineup, and then the long-term projection could be interesting. Maybe this ends up being one of those summer stories that doesn't end up mattering and never comes to pass, but I deemed it worth mentioning and found it interesting that there could be a name out there in that cornerback room that we aren't even thinking about. That's him. He looks good. Looks good in the uni. For sure. Turn of the burner. Lost weight. Legs aren't as big as they used to be. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, we got a little stoppage time coming up. We got some Saints talk. I want to get into SEC, OU and Texas joining the SEC. Later in the show, Utah has named a coach in waiting. We still got our 4th of July fun facts. Tay NFL story of the day. Some random NBA tidbits in hour 3 as well. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go to All-Star Toyota and explore. We'll go to AllStarToyota.com. The website's a great place to explore all the different vehicles that are on offer, as well as all the great prices that are on offer. And remember, for recent graduates, we always got great deals going down for you. As we understand, you need a vehicle to try to get to your job, get to school, and whatnot, and we can help provide you with that, as well as military veterans and members. Year-round, baby. Not just 4th of July. Take advantage of it. Go check out All-Star Day. I'd say just go see them off of Airline in Goodwood and start to interact with the incredible sales staff and let them lead you to your vehicular answer. And as always, if you need a body shop, service center, All-Star Toyota is there for you. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Value Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Value Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Value Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
best kept secret in town.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels. And is there any breaking news in the baseball transfer portal? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Gulf South says, sorry, but making the playoffs moving forward simply won't be enough since they've expanded 12 teams now. They need to win a game in said playoffs at minimum. That's fair. I'm wondering if maybe just because it's like year one of the playoffs that if you make it, it'd be a little extra special. But I mean, your point stands. I definitely understand what you are saying. Scott Dice says, I am very angry about USA soccer. Feels just like watching the Aggies. And I had not thought about that. But it's not, it's a pretty apt comparison given that a lot of people will walk around and tell you about how talented this U.S. team currently is. And it's the most talented team that the country's ever had and yada, 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 golden generation, all that. And yet they don't really have any major successes besides consistently beating Mexico. They don't really have any major successes to write home about. Let's dive into a little stoppage time.
For Club and Country. And just about 90 seconds. This is stoppage time on Off the Bench.
So the USA completely blows it yesterday. This all started, if you want to go into like the, that's way too loud, that ticking clock is. You got to turn that down. That is freaking me out.
To you.
What?
To you, but on air it's not.
Oh, it's not? You're saying I just turn on my headphones? Now it's all I can hear. Thank you. So this all started with Timothy Way, right? Like against Panama, hitting that guy in the head. He ends up having to miss yesterday's game as well, forcing a few lineup changes, losing one of your best players. Ultimately, you're out this tournament now, though, because you blew it to Panama, right? Uruguay was always going to be an uphill battle. It proved to be an uphill battle. And really, you basically got nothing going last night. You had the one really good chance and sequence at the end, but I think you end with like 3 shots on goal. Just kind of a piss poor performance the last couple of games after a nice opener in which you had to have it. And what it means now that you are out of this tournament on North American soil here, you lost an Arrowhead last night. But it's the first time that you have not made it. The USMNT had not been previously eliminated from the group stage of a World Cup, Copa America, or Gold Cup that it has hosted. And now it has. First time that you have ever not made it out the group stage when it's been on your home soil. So this is all an abject failure. And look, I don't know enough about it to really sit here and passionately argue that you have to get rid of Greg Berhalter. I think that's what all the fans say. USMNT saying a comprehensive review will be done. The players all have Berhalter's back. They're saying they want him to lead them into the World Cup here in 2 years. What do you do? With the World Cup looming just 2 years away, do you start over fresh with a new coach and you hope to get a bolt of maybe juice from the, kind of that inherent bolt that comes with just any sort of change in general? Or do you fall on the side of continuity and say, well, yes, this is a bad tournament, but we've been building this thing kind of towards this World Cup. We've already extended him through the World Cup. Do we give him one more chance here in a couple of years? It's a big risk either way because obviously, once again, the World Cup's going to be back on North American soil. And this generation has been tabbed as the golden generation. But I think you have to stop calling this group that. And really, the reason why you're calling them that is just because all the players play in Europe, which I know is nothing to lift your nose at, and it is impressive, and it's something that longtime U.S. soccer fans have really pined for. Like, I remember growing up, it was a massive deal that Brian McBride was playing for Fulham and, like, scoring a ton of goals. for Fulham, but he was the exception, not the rule. Landon Donovan on Everton. Where was Dempsey back in the day? Was he Fulham as well? Either way, so now everybody's playing in Europe, and it's like, oh, this is the most talented, best teams LSU. Look, our LSU, the U.S. You can maybe say it's the best collection of individual skill. You can maybe say it's the best individual talent. But to be a golden generation, you have to win at golden generation rates. And the bottom line is that they have not done that. They have fallen short of previous generations made up of mainly MLS players. I don't know why. I don't exactly know how, but maybe their heads have been too pumped up. Maybe it is Berhalter. The bottom line is, though, again, until they win, and they'll have a chance in 2 years, we are rescinding that title. So, unfortunately, USA out, potentially Greg Berhalter out, falling short here in the Copa America. Hey, look, I do want to remind you all about the MMR Group. I'm talking about the nation's largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor, okay? Headquartered right here in Baton Rouge. All the time, we kind of lament the fact that you have so many great companies choosing to leave this state and go headquarter elsewhere. Not the case with the MMR Group right here in Baton Rouge still to this day. Now, they do have offices all over the globe, though, which is one of my favorite parts, like touring the campus, meeting some of those young college kids who are on internships, just starting out, and they're going on projects all over the world and seeing like what they're doing on their off days. They're going skiing, they're going hiking, they're going all these adventures, right? It's just, I mean, if you want a career, right? A career, outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture, you want to check out what the MMR Group can offer you. And you're not just if you're a college student. If you're already in this business or you've been in it for a long time, you're just starting out, we have a variety of positions available. Apply now at mmrgrp.com. That's mmrgrp.com. I want to talk a little New Orleans Saints, but I want a whole segment to do that. Let me think about what we could throw in here as a little kind of addendum here at the end of this segment. How about one of these 4th of July fun facts? How about that? Did you know the designer of the flag that we have today, our 50-star flag, was a 16-year-old from Lancaster, Ohio? Y'all have heard the story about, it's either walk-ons or canes, right? Where that was done as a school project, like the business pitch was, and I think they got like a C- or a D on it or something.
It was walk-ons. Because remember, they were like on a team bus coming back from a game. They drew it out on a napkin and then like presented it to class. I'm pretty sure it was walk-on.
And like they got like a pretty mediocre grade,
yeah, it was
right?
like average.
And obviously their success has been anything but. Well, in a similar kind of scenario here, Robert G. Heft was 16 years old at the time in which, thanks to adding Hawaii and Alaska, the U.S. needed a new flag. The 16-year-old got an old 48-star flag. He got about $3 worth of blue cloth and white iron-on material, and he turned his design into class. He got a B-. He got a B- on the flag. He didn't think that was right. He told his teacher, you know what? Send it to D.C. See what the president thinks. I don't understand how this is possible. Heft was one of thousands to submit a flag design to D.C., but he was reportedly, according to Heft's obituary, the only person who actually stitched together a flag and shipped a proof of concept to D.C. And it ends up getting selected. A 16-year-old with a little bit of elbow grease, an old flag, and some local supplies literally created the most famous flag perhaps in human history. It became the official flag in 1960. Again, he submitted it in 1958. For those that are wondering, Heft's grade changed to an A. So good on his teacher for saying if it was good enough for the president and the U.S. government, that it's good enough to get an A in my book. Shout out Bobby Heft. legend of the game, 16-year-old who designed our 50 surf flag. All right, when we get back here and off the bench, let's close out hour number one. A surprising name on Phil Steele's top 25 freshman quarterbacks for next season. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers, your local waste management option. None of this national BS where you're a number on a spreadsheet. They don't really give a damn. There's no way of getting in touch with them. You have no way of actually them working around your schedule. No flexibility. It ain't like that with Trash Rangers, y'all. They have an amazing line of fixed placement front load dumpsters. And if you're a business, we understand all businesses have different needs. And again, we are here to help with flexible scheduling. So you need reliable dumping schedules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. You want to call Trash Rangers, your number one trash solution. 225-363-9053. 363-9053. Remember, if you have a project, and that's anywhere, y'all. Baton Rouge, Ascension, Livingston, anywhere. Also, remember, you got a project and maybe need like a roll-off dumpster for your house, you're moving, anything like that. Here's your answer as well. One more time, 225-363-9053.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Brack teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore.
It's Musso. Join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Sunshine. Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, joins the show to talk recruiting, and it is transfer portal deadline day in college baseball. Tuesday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. So Phil Steele actually has Colin Hurley on his list of top 25 freshman quarterbacks for the NCAA next year. It's kind of an inspired choice in that Hurley was super highly ranked. He has the cojones to reclassify and basically play his senior year at like 16 years old. He enrolls early at LSU. I think he was still 16 when he enrolled before he finally turned 17. I've really loved Colin Hurley's mental makeup. The only time I really watched him play was the Army All-American game, and he was fantastic in that thing. But it is interesting to hear Steele kind of give him a shout out simply because I think he's going to be kind of lost to the public eye for a couple of years here. Probably red shirts this season. Who knows what happens with the competition with him and Nuss and Underwood coming up next year. So Steele very high on the freshman. Taylor, any thoughts there?
I love Colin Hurley. I mean, you mentioned he came in at 16 years old, but every interview you hear with him, I mean, he sounds like he's a senior in college already. Yeah. He was a big-time recruiter for this recruiting class. He kind of led the charge there. There's always a few players in every class that kind of lead recruiting. We've seen Bryce Underwood do it for the 2025 class. Colin Hurley was that guy. He looked really good in the spring game. He threw that touchdown pass to Kai Preen late in that game. I think he could have a really nice college career.
Wait, Colin Hurley has a touchdown pass to his name? I don't remember that.
In the spring game.
Oh.
He threw it late to Kai Preen, who ended up transferring.
So one name on a list, and it is list season, but way more interestingly, a name left off of a list. CBS Sports came out, and they did their top 20 running backs in the NFL. And I'm looking at him like, okay, let's just see where AK ranks, right? Another 1,000-yard from scrimmage season for him last year. At 20, they got Jaylen Warren from the Steelers. You're like, okay, yeah, look, I see it. Warren's got some good analytics behind him. Not the biggest raw volume numbers, but like, you know, he seems like he could be one of the next big guys. They got Pacheco on there. Okay, yeah, sure. DeAndre Swift from the Bears. A-Chain from the Dolphins, who didn't have a ton of use, but was like hyper efficient when he did. James Conner still on this list, Tony Pollard. And at this point, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, like, okay, wow, I didn't expect Kamara to be this high. We're up to 14. You got Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker III from Seattle. Like, oh, okay, dude, is he maybe going to be like top 10? I mean, here's Raheem Mostert. He was really good last year. And you go through and, well, no Alvin Kamara to be found. Josh Jacobs at 9, Jahmyr Gibbs at 8, Barkley, Breece Hall, Nick Chubb at 5, Taylor at 4, Bijan Robinson at 3, which is a bit interesting that they didn't use him. Derrick Henry at 2, and then, of course, CMC at 1. No Alvin Kamara on the top 20 running backs in the NFL. And I don't really care to argue that he should be on it, though I think you could make that argument. Again, he still had 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I think he's done it every year of his career. Has it been a step back? Absolutely. But I don't think it's entirely his fault. It's kind of the great hope for the New Orleans Saints this year is that one of the reasons why they have struggled as of late is because they have not been put in the best positions to succeed. And again, I think that the O-line has really highlighted this in that they're maybe already not the best players, and then they're also being put in bad positions. Whereas I think Alvin Kamara has maybe been the greatest sufferer of this because he is a very good player, but is just getting the knees completely cut out of him by a combination of scheme and then bad scheme, leading to already worse O-line play, and then both the scheme and the bad O-line play just giving him no room to operate. Remember, we talked about yards before contact. Saints, one of the worst in the entire league. We talk about the lack of creativity in the Saints running game. Just asking Alvin Kamara to run inside zone and do good, even though everybody knows that inside zone is coming. And then you think, of course, to Christian McCaffrey and when his time was ending with the Panthers. And now I don't think he ever would have fallen out of the top 20, but there was a time when you would have done this list and maybe McCaffrey would have been in the teens, maybe even the high teens. Whereas now he's number one with a bullet, and it's not even particularly close. So that's an extreme example of a career recitation. And I don't believe that will happen with Alvin Kamara, but I do believe he will be significantly better this year. I think back to what Alvin Kamara told you in the media all of last season. This is a man who still is very talented, still works his ass off year-round, 24/7, to be available and be ready for the season. You look at just some of the practice clips, and he still looks like he has all of that quickness and that smoothness that defined him early on. But this is a man who last year was clearly displeased with the leadership, with the coaches, and he did a good job of kind of towing the line in terms of maybe sticking up for the locker room when he needed to, but not becoming too much of a distraction or causing too many waves. But I think basically what I'm hoping for is, if you go pure sunshine pumping with the New Orleans Saints, that all of this frustration that an elite player, a guy who appeared at once maybe to be on a Hall of Fame path, an elite player like Alvin Kamara, what does all this frustration do when it builds up over years? Does it cause you to shudder and shut down? Or do you internalize it? Does it become an engine from which you draw extra level motivation and which you seek to prove everybody wrong? Knowing Alvin Kamara, his competitive spirit, his work ethic, I think it's the latter. And I think for the first time in a few years, thanks to the Clint Kubiak change and what it will mean for the offensive line and the offensive line as a whole, there may be no bigger winner from the change than Alvin Kamara. By next year, he may find himself back on this list once again. Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. All your AC, heat, and electrical needs. You want that service to the highest degree? You want AccuTemp. Ask about the Star Club membership while you're in there. It's a flat fee that you pay monthly where they stay on top of your systems for you. They literally come out. You don't have to even lift a finger. And they make sure that you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. So remember, storm season right around the corner. You want to protect yourself, your family, your home. You've been thinking or toying with the idea of getting a whole home generator, right? Maybe you're an outdoorsman. You got a whole freezer full of meat. Cannot afford to lose that. Well, AccuTemp give you a free professional estimate on said generator. Come out, explain to you exactly how it works. And again, anytime you work with AccuTemp, the thing that's going to blow you away is the customer service. That's why the reviews are so exorbitantly positive, okay? AccuTemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 2nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 98. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk a little bit of Texas and Oklahoma as both teams have officially joined the Southeastern Conference. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Shout out Betsy Ross. If we're talking about flag makers, of course, I actually don't know the Betsy Ross story, so I'm just going to shout her out. Shout out Betsy Ross. Thank you for the OG flag.
Stitched together the first flag.
No,
right?
I know that, but I'm saying I'm sure there's all sort of interesting details and little tidbits and whatnot that I don't know about. Gulf South says FedEx was based on a college project that the guy actually failed. His business professor said it would never work. Lamau. Burroughs Keeger says, I feel like I'm reading something dirty. I don't know what it is, but whatever. Says, the USA flag is not and cannot be the most famous flag in world history, T-Bob. Well, let me illuminate you, you nerd. I would argue that it is. Why? Because of something I like to call dissemination of information, okay? The internet. True or false? We have more people alive on the earth today than we have ever had at any previous time.
Oh, that's got to be true, right?
Yes. True or false? The ability to disseminate information is clearly more readily available than it has ever been and more effective at any time in human history, correct? True or false? The dominant empire in the world right now is America. True or false? If you were to sit there and show people an American flag, the vast majority of the world would know exactly what country you are thinking about. You see like a French flag, you're like, I think that's French. It might be Russian. Color's kind of the same. The stripes. You must say, oh, but you've and this is where I'm sure Burroughs thinking, you've activated my trap card, and he's gonna pull out the Union Jack. Oh, what about England? Sun never sets on England. Remember, England was around before America. The problem with England, the waters have been muddied. Thanks to their history in colonialism, there's too many countries that have a Union Jack on them. And so it makes it a bit confusing, right? Whether it's New Zealand, Australia. Does Canada still have one, or did Canada get away from it?
Canada?
Yeah.
Canada's got the flag with the leaf.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know Canada's flag because it's not important. The point is, no, the Union Jack waters have been sullied, and since the rise of the internet and the information age and the technological revolution, America has been leading the way. So absolutely, with billions upon billions of people on this planet, and the U.S. flag being the most recognizable in the world, it is indeed the most famous flag in world history, especially the 50-star version of it, which was made by our guy Bobby Heft as a 16-year-old as a school project in 1958. Burrow. Okay? I hope I've proven my point.
Also, name a flag right now that's more famous than the American flag.
That's what I'm saying. I think the only one would be probably the Union Jack, right? That would be the only challenger.
Yeah, and it's not
but
even...
But the UK gets so confusing. What's the UK?
Exactly.
What's Britain? What's England? I don't know.
I agree 100%.
You also can't say it is not and cannot be the most famous, and you have zero evidence to back that up.
Yeah.
You just say that it's not.
He says the internet's been around public use for 25 years. Go sit down. Well, exactly, bro. That's my point, you dummy.
You sit down.
Is that the rest of history would have never been able, the vast majority of people aren't going to see any other country's flags because you're just out there freaking farming rice or wheat. You're like, oh, God, it's going to be sunny today. And then you're just drunk because you're just drinking ale and wine all the time. That's been the craziest thing that I've read about lately is I listened to a very fun short book called Hunt Palmer jumps in the chat, says it's the Cubs W flag. Read a book.
He's right.
Probably more famous than a lot of countries' flags, actually, to be fair. But one of my favorite things that I've read recently, it's a very fun short book called 6 Drinks That Shaped the Modern World. And the passage on coffee blows my mind. Because through the Dark Ages, you basically have hundreds of years where England is just drinking, right? All that you can't drink the water because it's all befouled and poisonous thanks to poop and trash, and it'll make you sick. And so everybody's just constantly drinking wine and ale. And granted, their beer and wine and ale was all a bit different than ours. And some of their beer had a ton of calories. It was almost more like a porridge, whatever. So it's not 1-to-1 here, but you did have people basically walking around kind of drunk all the time. Heads of state in the entire country operating kind of drunk. All of a sudden, coffee enters the picture, and everybody's not only sober, but they're just speeding their ass off. And they got ideas, man. And they're writing. And I don't think it's any great surprise that the Enlightenment coincides with the rise of coffee in England and then the U.S. And England specifically is a little bit of a difference in French coffee houses. In French coffee houses, social stratification was still in play, where if you were a lord or whatever, a commoner, you're not allowed to talk to the important person, et cetera, et cetera. In English coffee houses, all social stratification was left at the door. Everybody was equal in the coffee house. And everybody was able to debate, to give ideas, to learn ideas, to get educated in there. And it's just so, and a lot of look, and it turns out that's a pretty good way to foment revolution. Right? And that's ended up what happening all over the world is people got together. They finally weren't drunk anymore. They're like the people that talk to you at a party that have clearly done too much cocaine, only the speed isn't that extreme. And they're actually maybe have some pretty intelligent ideas, right, about democracy and representative government and how, separation of church and state and all these other kind of ideals that our country was founded on. But again, I just love, that's what you go, have you ever read any letters written during the Enlightenment, around 1776 in that time? It is all so beautifully eloquent and there's so much thought put in. It's mellifluous. It's just wonderful. And again, the reason is because they're all speeding their ass off and just all trying to out vocab each other. Shout out coffee, dude. Yeah, Matt C., the French Revolution started in coffee houses. It's so wild to think about a country being drunk for hundreds of years. And then suddenly they're just not only not drunk, but super, super productive. And there's all kind of funny contemporary writing that was I'm thinking about coffee. It's just a great way to start the day. Instead of walking around in a stupor, you walk around and you're very clear-headed and ready to go. And here we are, 100 years later. And I if I don't have my coffee in the morning, I freak out. I angrily drove off in a huff out of the Starbucks line this morning and said, I'm going to 7 Brew because they were taking too long for my coffee. And I hope they felt me drive off in a huff. I don't think they did, but I made sure to accelerate pretty fast out of the line.
Squeal your tires?
No, I did not squall tires. That's a step too far. Can't be squalling tires in parking lot. Okay, Taylor, there's family and kids walking around. Jeff G says the white flag should be the most recognized. T-Bob should know he gives up a lot.
I thought we weren't using the Confederate flag anymore.
No. That's a really good joke, actually. I like that as a kind of little conceptual debate piece there, Jeff. As yes, the white flag, kind of the universally accepted sign of surrender.
Ooh, the checkered flag for racists.
No,
it's another one.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah, that is literally another flag.
Okay, fair. That's true. Daniel Basham said he had those mom wheels squalling. I guess can you ever look aggressive if you're in a minivan? What it is murdered out though, dude.
I think minivans drive faster on the road. The average minivan driver is aggressive.
Not the minivans I come across. The minivans I come across make me very angry.
Why?
Because they cannot drive.
Because they got freaking kids yelling at them 24/7.
Yeah.
Like one hand back here, like
I'm always
trying to hand
please
snacks.
Get out of my way. But I have road rage.
Avo says 7 Brew should be your choice over Starbucks anyway. It's far superior. I actually do agree with that.
There's not one near me for me to.
It's not as convenient to my home, but I do agree with you just from a level of service standpoint. Although I still got love for a lot of my homies over at my Bucks for sure. It's not their fault. And I also do get a bit embarrassed though sometimes at 7 Brew because they're going to talk to you and everything, and they're looking in my car, and my car's a wreck right now. One young girl yesterday, what? Oh, you gone on an adventure?
You were like, yeah, just to work.
I'm like, yeah, all the trash and diapers and books and toys and crumbs. I'm going on an adventure. No.
Excuse me, sir.
My life is just out of control. Yeah, exactly. No, my life is just out of control. And I'm a bit embarrassed, and I would appreciate if you'd step back from the window. Okay? Thank you. I'm hurriedly throwing stuff into the glove, in the center console right before I drive up.
They give you the drink and you have no empty cup holders to
put I feel like I've got to put a cool song on to let these young kids know that I'm cool, man. I still get it.
You put some Chapel Roan on.
Yeah, y'all listen to Chapel? You heard
They
Pink
probably
Pony
do.
Club?
They probably do.
Yeah, because she's huge.
Yeah, I guess.
My girl Heather McMahon texted me the other day, and she wants us to go to Chapel in London and dress up as glitter kitties. And there's nothing that I would love to do more. It would be such good content, but there's no way I can swing it, unfortunately. Mr. Big says, peeling out a minivan can only be done by a 5-foot-tall woman with kids in the back, terrified. I'm not meeting with that woman. That's true. That is true.
Minivan drivers are aggressive.
That's like a bear mom, not someone to mess with. Ryan says, I drove off of a drive-through the other day. Felt good. Yeah, it does feel kind of, it feels a little frustrating, but it does somehow feel a bit cathartic to leave and huff. You lost my $5. And they obviously don't care, but I'm still yeah, I hope you learned your lesson. I'll never be back until the next time I'm back.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever done that. Drove off in a drive-through.
Ever? Not once?
I don't think so.
Before my child's birthday, I was locked in a Chick-fil-A drive-through that wasn't moving, and
gosh.
They have those stand-up poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they bend over. I just ran right over him.
That's an aggressive one there.
I had to.
That's worse than squealing.
You can't be late to your own kid's birthday with the kid whose birthday it is.
Yeah.
I had to. I had no choice. And then I had to go back in and be like, hey, sorry, y'all, and pick up the nuggets. And I did. Oof. I love a good nugget tray. I eat 40 of them things, dude. All right. Sorry, this was supposed to be a sports segment, but I don't really care. When we get back, Let's do a little OTB mailbag. You got any flag questions, any internet questions, any general history questions, any sports questions, any questions about why I hate Taylor? Hashtag OTB mailbag in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, youtube.com/1045ESPN. We'll get to him next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. Daniel Blunt says, I keep waiting for Saints news. We talked about Alvin Kamara. When you want to talk about Juwan Johnson's ankle injury? Seems to be the other hot topic. I want to talk about window coverage, what they can do for your home, and why you need to have Brandon Barton and K to Z out to your home and take advantage of the decades worth of experience as they look at exactly how your home interacts with the sun at every single point during the day. And they figure out the window coverings to bring your home to the next level, both aesthetically and functionally. K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. Like maybe dad needs some outdoor drop down shade so he can be grilling and chilling. Did y'all know like 1 billion hot dogs are going to get eaten over the next few days? I don't think, well, it's not that much. I might exaggerate. K to Z windows, didn't exaggerate that though.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Brack teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Henniger, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. We do first class, second class, no class. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, let's get to the little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Not a question, but a comment worth reading. Bilbo writes, somewhere out there, or there's someone out there right now where this is his last week with all 10 fingers. True.
It's true.
That actually brings us to one of our 4th of July fun facts. Wait, where'd I write it? Oh, so over $1 billion is spent on fireworks each year. And there are about 13,000 firework-related ER visits during 4th of July each year. 70% men, for what it's worth. Which had me think, like, you know how we all associate holidays with feelings. For me, 4th of July is family, celebration, fun, dancing, beer, hot dogs, fireworks. For ER doctors, it's just mangled fingers and faces. Like, how bad does that suck? You're like, oh, it's 4th of July again. I know I'm about to just see, like, I'm going to have to sew, like, thumbs back on. Hopefully they kept the ring finger on ice. I'm going to, like, try to fix these little, tiny little hand bones. Shout out to all the ER doctors. Kind of put the damper on their holiday a bit. Don't blow your hand up, guys. Good luck. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Should U.S. Soccer get a new coach? I don't have an informed opinion, but sure. I don't know. The hive mind seems to think so. So yeah, why not? Taylor, you have a take on everything. Do you have a take on U.S. Soccer coach?
Well, everyone said that they've underperformed, so sure, let's get.
Okay, so you really don't either.
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB. Do you, Alondra?
Yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah, because he keeps beating Mexico.
Yeah.
Makes sense. William Anthony, 4th of July and a Thursday sucks. Have to come back to work Friday, so I have to behave on Thursday.
Sucker.
Yeah, thank you to Guarantee for giving us work off of Friday. Though if Guarantee didn't give us work off of Friday, and any business who did not give your employees work off Friday, you're running a bad business. You know, unless you are specifically a like 4th of July related business, which you should probably give the 5th off anyway then, and 4th is going to be a busy day. But you're running a bad business. Nothing's going to get done on the 5th. Nobody's going to be in office. You are sacrificing employee happiness at the feet of no real tangible gain. Okay? So, F all you decision makers who are making people come into work in the 5th. You suck. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do we trust T-Bob around a whale's
What?
Do we trust T-Bob around a whale's blowhole? What is this about?
I feel like
I think
this
it's
is
just
something
about
I'm
all the
missing.
sexual references you make. That would be my guess.
So, but this is just a random question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could trust me around a whale's blowhole. I'm not going to attempt to have sex with it. It wouldn't be good for the whale or for me. I mean, how big is a whale's blowhole?
I don't know. But to answer Daniel Basham's
Might be like
question,
throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
No, I would not trust T-Bob around a whale's blowhole.
Avamar's wondering, are you going to watch a Nathan's hot dog eating contest without Joey Chestnut?
I didn't even watch it when Joey
Yeah,
Chestnut
I was about to
on
say,
there.
I wasn't like an every year viewer. If I remembered it was on one,
I was
would tune
growing
in,
up. I
but-
kind of made it my thing,
Yeah.
and then I haven't watched in years.
Yeah,
but
so probably not.
I'm not going to lie, kind of a bit ironically, while I really disagree with Nathan's, it is going to be interesting to
Like,
see
who
who
steps
wins.
up.
Yeah. Even though they kind of become a false champion. It's like in the world of chess right now, right? Magnus Carlsen, still the best player in the world, but just gives up his title because he's sick of classical chess and nobody can really challenge him. And so now, yeah, you have a new world championship in Ding Liren, but like, or new world champion, but Ding's playing awful. He doesn't feel like the world champion at all. It's going to be the same thing with the hot dogs.
A whale's blowhole is about the size of a large pair of nostrils.
Okay. Well, we're kind of back then. Maybe you shouldn't trust me around it. My bad. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite firework. I've always had an affinity for M80s and Texas Pop Rockets. because that's what we used to do firework battles with. Roman candles, also sneaky fun as well. But those little Texas bottle rockets that you can just light and throw and everything. I mean, you shouldn't probably, but those are always my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know if I have like a particular, like one in particular that I get every year.
Like, you don't like little like black cats, maybe like
I
little
don't,
army
I'm
tanks.
not familiar enough.
I mean, we
Things that
get
go in the
fireworks. We
air.
get like the big ones, but I just look at what it does and I buy it if I think it's cool. I don't have like a specific.
As far as like big mortars go, the best ones are the ones that explode, and then you get like 30 little golden like crinkle explosions afterwards.
Crackle things in them. Yeah, for sure.
So way to not answer the question. Y'all both suck. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Rank the top 5 things that set you off about Taylor. I mean, just look at that. I don't have to. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What would be on the OTB flag? I don't know. We should design an OTB flag. Where's Danny when you need him? He was pretty good at all that. He had that like Louisiana State logo that was pretty cool for a while
Dang,
there.
Taylor.
What?
He's like, where's Danny?
Well,
wow. Look at this. Just trying to stir
that's
controversy.
kind of messed up.
He says it a lot. Doesn't necessarily make it accurate, but hey.
Danny
he's
is a
entitled to
graphic
his opinion.
design beast. His strengths are not Taylor's strength. Taylor is far better on air. Taylor's very good at SEO and managing the YouTube channels and whatnot. Everybody has different strengths. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Burgers, ribs, or hot dog?
Depends on where I'm at.
For 4th of July.
Oh, 4th of July hot dogs. They're easier to eat. They're easier to make. You can have a bunch of them while you're just hanging out at a party.
I love some ribs.
I love ribs. I love ribs. But generally, people don't. I don't have anyone, I feel like, in my family who makes particularly good ribs. And so I would choose ribs from a pure taste standpoint. Yeah, probably hot dogs on the 4th. Has to go to mailbag. How is Moby Dick not a phallic reference? And what is the biggest fish that everyone has caught? I don't know when Richard became a phallic reference because, for many years it wasn't. It was just, that's Dick. And it was all good.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when that came about. So I'd say it's not because culturally it probably was not at the time. Which would be very funny. Can you look up phallic references from the Victorian era?
Yeah.
What is the biggest fish everyone's caught? Caught like a big, 40-something pound yellowfin. I think that's probably the biggest. Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't remember
It's like a little
the
bass.
weight, but somewhere between 6th and 7th grade, me and my dad went deep sea fishing, caught one of those king mackerels.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's a decent size.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Can you do a Nathan's Hot Dog Challenge in studio this week? I've done it a couple times in air in my radio career, and it's not nearly as good as you think because it's way harder to eat a hot dog than you think. I thought I was going to get down 6 or 7 in a couple minutes one time, and I think I got 1.5 or something. It is actually insane how hard it is. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would Tom Holland play a great Marty McFly in a Back to the Future reboot? Sure. Do I want a Back to the Future
Let's
reboot?
stop with the
Absolutely
reboots.
not.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a hardcore stop with the reboots person. I just have no desire for a Back to the Future reboot at all.
None.
Ask the bench. Or hashtag go to remember. Let's see here. Simpsons or South Park?
Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
For me personally, it's been South Park. I wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons growing up. I used to watch it at my friend's house, but I don't have any great knowledge of the Simpsons. Whereas, even though I haven't watched South Park pretty much since the 2020 election, I thought it was some of the best satire out there when it was on its game. Or the 2016 election, actually. Wow, it's been near 10 years since I watched South Park.
I mean, it's certainly more outlandish, but I think The Simpsons has better staying power.
No, I think culturally, The Simpsons is a far bigger deal, right? I think, and maybe far bigger's maybe too much, but culturally, yes, The Simpsons has left an indelible mark. And there's, Simpsons already did it. Simpsons are great. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Who's LSU's backup quarterback?
A.J. Swan, I would think, right? That's who I would say.
Yeah.
They brought him in. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
He's a multi-year SEC starter.
It's a good call. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Should the NCAA have a rule similar to the pros in regards to talking to another team's coach? I'm guessing you're talking about tampering. I don't know how you're ever supposed to police tampering nowadays. It just seems so easy to get around it. Hashtag off the bench mailbag. What time of the day are you supposed to light 4th of July fireworks? Well, when the sun's down.
Dark.
Yeah. When you
But you can play it. You can play during the day with them though.
You can do the
you
little-
shouldn't. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's up to
The sidewalk
parents.
firecrackers, what I'll call them, little poppers, Roman candles, all that can be done during the day. But like the big
those
ones.
lights and black cats, throw some M80s. Love throwing them. I love throwing them underwater and watching them boop, underwater. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Whatever happened to Randy Quaid? He became a big conspiracy theorist, right? Bradley Brick, trivia for T-Bob. What American conflict inspired Francis Scott Key to write the lyrics for the Star Spangled Banner? I'm going to say the War of 1812, though I don't actually know.
No, it was the 7 Years' War, I think.
There's too much crinkle under your eyes. I don't trust you.
It's not right.
It looks like you're smiling. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What movie would you like to see get remade? I wish there was a world where we could erase Rise of Skywalker from the earth and actually do a good 9th Skywalker saga movie that built off of the incredible foundation of The Last Jedi.
Not sure. I'm over reboots.
There were a couple like classic scary movies back in the day where I'm like the graphics would be a lot better. That might actually be better nowadays. Outside of that,
I mean, I guess
I'm
they
not a
tried
reboot.
like The Thing and everything. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did you know that USA Beach volleyball uniforms were designed by an LSU grad? I did not. Shout out Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss, though. I got my TKN gear ready to go for the Olympics. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What would happen if Jesus tried to cannonball?
I don't know. That's a funny thought.
I'm imagining Jesus can
Like turn it off and on.
Well, he can adjust the density of the water to whatever he wants it to be.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to like land on basically like a soft pillow of water, almost like a gelatinous cube, he could do that. He could probably go underwater, just breathe underwater and grow gills, Waterworld style.
Yeah.
Or if you just wanted like the full cannonball experience, don't do anything. Just jump in.
I would, if I was Jesus, I would do a cannonball and I would just make an otherworldly large splash.
See that? Yeah.
Like do the cannonball and then the
Like the
entire
O-lineman?
pool. Yes. But the entire pool just like shoots up into the air everywhere. And then it rains down in everybody's cup, having transformed into wine while in the air.
Ooh.
That's how you get the party started. And then I snap my fingers and the water's back in the pool so we can swim. Don't give me that power. Hashtag OTB mailbag. By the way, it was the War of 1812. How about that?
You're so smart.
Got lucky. Thank you, though. I am. How many people do you know personally that'll lose fingers this weekend? I've never known anyone. Have you ever known anyone?
No, I don't know. I didn't even knock on wood.
That lost fingers due to fireworks? No.
Yeah.
Nobody.
The only the closest thing that I've seen to a firework injury is one of those that spin up in the
Saturn
air.
missiles.
One of my, we were playing with him when we were younger, and one of my buddies was standing above it by accident,
Ooh.
and it went up his shorts and just burned the hell out of his like groin, like the inside of his thigh. And we didn't want to tell our parents, so we had to like sneak him past all the parents inside, and he was like sweating, trying not to like cry or be in pain as we like shuttled him up to the room and tried to doctor it up.
Oh
Or
my
get away with it?
gosh.
What?
Did you get away with it?
No, because we had to get it, wrapped and everything else.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out Jay. What if Jesus in the cannon had a crawfish bowl? It'd be a very good time. Very good time. All right. That'll do it. Oh, Dan DeBass says the Nosferatu remake looks good. That's kind of right to Taylor's point. It's like exactly what Taylor was talking about. How about that? All right. When we get back here on OTB, let's talk a little OU and Texas to the SEC. That's the SEC. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. CommunitySteelCompany.com. You need purlin, tubing, steel buildings, roofing, sheet metal, trim. It's all there at Community Steel. It's all manufactured on site. So they buy the steel directly from the wholesaler. They make the product there. You get to interact with the live and local sales team. You get to touch, feel, see the product before you buy it. Like if you're in the market for a steel building, you go to Community Steel. They have the buildings built. You walk through them, you touch them, you see them. If you're a business looking for steel needs, again, a local sales team that gets to know you, what makes your business tick, how to best serve you. That also extends to your personal steel needs as well. And they got the best prices, which is maybe what you care about the most, right? That's why they got all these national steel companies all pissed off at them. They are disrupting the steel market. Go to CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels. And is there any breaking news in the baseball transfer portal? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. I want to get into Texas and OU joining the SC, who's more SC ready in a second. But first, we have a boots on the ground correspondent as local celebrations for the 4th of July are starting to take off. Here is our local OTB gumshoes. Whatever. Here's our local boots on the ground reporter bringing you some live coverage of the 4th of July.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry, what you doing?
Oh, one of the most wholesome videos on the internet. Nobody gets hurt. It's all good, clean fun. A contagious laugh that is just impossible not to put a smile on your face. Thing is, Terry didn't have to back up. He could have gone forward, which he eventually ended up doing. Why did Terry feel the need to be involved in the lighting process in the first place? I mean, I don't know. Look, maybe he get it growing up. I don't know if it seems like he's constantly in the wheelchair. It looked like maybe he had a leg injury of sort. He certainly looked like someone who's a bit unfamiliar with the wheelchair. But shout out Terry, a true 4th of July internet legend, and I hope you're doing well, man. Over here. Hey, did you look up Victorian references for phalluses, Taylor?
Let's see if I still have it up.
Oh my God,
I did have it up.
Is that a phallic joke? Thank you, Laundry. I hope y'all can hear her laughing in the background. It was very funny. All my friends told me. Way to go, Taylor. So you got flaccid again. God, I didn't tell you to close it. Anyway. All right. Well, we'll get you your Victorian references for phalluses. I apologize that we don't have it right now ready for you. Welcome to the SEC, Oklahoma and Texas. And look, we talked about this at length on Snaps yesterday. I'm not going to spend too long on it here. If you're asking me, are both OU and Texas ready for the SEC? I think the answer is clearly an unequivocal yes. Although I think their situations, if you just look at this one season, are pretty different in terms of what I'm expecting. Overall, I think these two teams enter. And tell me if you would agree with this, if y'all would agree with this. I think there is a tier of the SEC where I would put Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Texas, and Oklahoma. And those would probably be the only teams in that tier. And those are teams that are consistently able to vie or threaten for national championships. And you would say, oh, but does LSU deserve to be there with like Tennessee and Alabama? Or not Tennessee, sorry. With like Georgia and Alabama. And look, maybe not from a year-to-year consistency standpoint, but again, nobody's managed to sneak through more natties than have the Tigers, maybe compared to like even though you would take some of those other schools. So, yeah, I think these programs are obviously very ready for the SEC. They both have top 10 rosters in the entire country. They both have a ton of resources. They both have great fans. They both have a ton of buy-in. They both have basically everything that you need. What I find to be fascinating is, again, looking at their entry into the SEC based off of this one year versus maybe taking the past 15 years into account. Because if you were to debate who is more ready and you were to look at recent history, you would think it would be Oklahoma. For the past 15 years, they've been winning the Big 12 seemingly every single year. They've made multiple playoffs. They've had multiple Heisman winners. Texas, up until last year, had nothing but mediocrity for a decade and a half. And yet, here we sit, and we feel so much better about the position that Texas is in than we do Oklahoma entering the SEC. Why is that? I think there's a couple of main reasons. First off, as we said at the very beginning of all this stuff, there's maybe not a bigger winner in NIL than Texas. The resource, well, I think Oklahoma has great resources. I mean, they did pay Dominic Williams over $1 million for this one season. I think Oklahoma has great resources, but it's not on Texas level. What was that recruiting video the other day where how many Lamborghinis were lined up outside of the Texas football ops? It's like 7, 8 or something of them. It's absurd. It is truly absurd, the levels at which you're reaching and the depth of Texas's pockets. Now, as we've seen at A&M, I think that can build a substanceless culture that can get you got. So I think the other difference why people are feeling positive about Texas actually has to go with Steve Sarkisian. And I was someone who was the biggest Sark hater out there. Somebody who had never won 10 games everywhere he'd been. The next coach immediately won 10 games. That said, Sark proved me wrong last year. So I will, look, I still wonder if, I still want to see him do it a second year in a row. But if I was forced to choose, I would bet that Sark is going to be good for a long time. I think he's recruited well. I think he's set up well. I think he's a very good offensive mind and play caller, obviously. And I think he's always going to have the ability to attract quarterbacks. And I think that's the other thing holding back OU. Like, why do you feel so much better about Texas and OU? It's not just because Texas has deeper pockets. It's probably more because of Brent Venables. You just don't know what to make of Brent Venables. But I would say this to Sooner fans. Venables still might be good. Again, last year should have been a good year. You just screwed up a couple of huge you wasted beating Texas, essentially. But if I was an OU fan, I would take comfort in the fact that, I may not know long-term about Brent Venables, but at least he recruits well. And so even if we do choose to move on eventually, like, the cupboard is not bare. You'll still have top 10 talent in the entire country. So are OU and Texas SEC ready? Absolutely. In the short term, is Texas more ready? Absolutely. In the long term, I feel it's pretty equal. More Off the Bench closing at hour 2 next. We'll get you those Victorian phallic references. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go Tommy's, GEAUX Tommy's.com. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need any type of door. You need Tommy's, where you will see the difference clearly. And I don't just mean in the quality of the work. I mean in the customer service. I mean in the bid process. I mean in everything that Tommy does to make sure that his customers go home satisfied. It's really what the entire business was built off of. He worked at another company for 2 decades before saying, you know what, I've learned a lot in these 20 years, and it is time to apply all of that knowledge into creating a company to do things that I think would be best for the customer. And that's why Tommy's now taking home the Angie Service List Award 7 years in a row. And it's why Tommy's is so confident in their ability to show you why they're the answer for your job, that all we want you to do is make him one of the bids. Make him one of the bids and let Tommy prove it to you. It's Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUXTommys.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
It's Musso. Join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Sunshine. Shay Dixon on 3 the Bengal Tiger joins the show to talk recruiting, and it is transfer portal deadline day in college baseball. Tuesday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, dude? Welcome back. OTB. Nookie talking about the SEC shorts yesterday. He said, I enjoyed the Sewanee guest appearance of yesterday's SEC shorts. Who knows the current name of that school? I actually do not. Remember, we did talk about Sewanee, though, a couple weeks ago. The old 1899 team, the Road Warriors. 6 games in 10 days, 2,500 miles of train track. That Sewanee 1899 team beat, listen to this schedule. Okay, they opened the season beating Georgia 12-0, then Georgia Tech 32-0, then Tennessee 46-0. They beat Texas 12-0, Texas A&M 10-0, Tulane 23-0, LSU 34-0, Ole Miss 12-0. Cumberland 71-0, Auburn 11-10, and then UNC 5-0. Damn, Auburn was the only team that scored on him, dude. There were, I did find this to be interesting. So the Auburn crowd looked like they had over 3,000 people in attendance. Texas had 2,500. But next on the list, in State Field here in Baton Rouge, LSU had over 2,000 people show up. November 13th, 1899, to watch Sewanee and LSU do battle. It's so funny to think about football being such like a small little niche sport at the time. Like, what's this? Is this where people die all the time? Because at that point, yes, people were dying all the time. All right, Taylor, let's get us some Victorian era phallic references.
So we start in 1460.
Okay.
We just referred to it as a pin. Like P-I-N.
I was gonna say interesting because not like P-E-N, because I'm sure that writing pens were not
P-I-N.
too readily available if you weren't like a monk cloistered away scribing copies of ancient texts. Okay. Hopefully it gets more exciting from here.
It does. 1611, we graduated to plum tree shaker.
What?
Plum tree shaker.
Oh, I love plum tree shaker. I don't understand it. I'm not exactly sure. I guess like I've never shooken a plum tree. Do you just kind of vigorously rub it up and down to make the plums fall out?
I mean,
you just take the shaft of a plum tree and just like shake that thing?
It would make sense. Then we graduated to knick-knack.
It seems
Funny
a little.
one.
It seems like a little like. Well, a little demeaning.
They did
I
it
think
because
little
of
knick-knack.
They did it because they called pants knickers.
Okay.
So they did knick-knack. Here's a funny little phrase for you. A pair of knickers keeps the knick-knack intact.
True. Although I doubt they had too much genital comfortability in their pants back in the day. Okay, what else we got?
We got silent flute in 1750.
Hell yeah. I've heard of the skin flute, never the silent flute.
Shaft of delight.
Okay, bit on the nose. Not really a lot of subtlety there.
Yep.
Also, what year was Shaft of Delight?
That was 1772.
Coffee. Enlightenment, right? They just can't say anything simple. Please, Martha, dear, would you fondle my shaft of delight? I would be most predisposed to courting you were you to perform fellatio on my shaft of delight.
This is going to be Alondra's favorite. She's giggling at everything. 1785, doodle.
Again,
Doodle.
in the knick-knack family, a little dismissive, but funny nonetheless. Say, Bo, let me see that doodle.
I don't know if this is... I'm assuming it's Gingerling.
What?
1833, Gingerling Johnny.
Huh?
That's what it says.
It's kind of funny. Not giggling?
No, like Gingling.
Oh.
Gingerling.
Jingling.
No, jingling would be a J.
You said J.
I said Gingling.
Damn it, we're out of time. Okay, we'll get into more of those next hour coming up on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You need some life back in your jingling Johnny? Well, Rejuve Medical can help you with that, young sir. Let me see that knick-knack. Oh, it's a sad boy, but it won't be sad for very long when you get your free consultation and get your labs drawn and let them figure out exactly what your body needs. Maybe your plum tree shaker's doing just fine, and that's all well and good. Maybe you got facial aging, mood and memory problems, insomnia. Either way, Rejuve Medical's there for you, boyo and womano. So go in today, get that free consultation, and get your labs drawn, and let Rejuve Medical put together a customized plan. Get your shaft of delight back to its max potential. Rejuve Medical, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 2nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 98. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll give you some more 4th of July fun facts. We'll have the NFL story of the day, and I'm sure T-Bob will want some more Victorian-era references. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in hour number 3 of OTB. Ask the Bench, Taco Tuesday. What's your go-to taco order? I don't know if I have a go-to.
It depends where I'm going.
I still haven't tried the burrito place. I got to go there eventually. I would say probably my favorite tacos in town right now are probably Barracuda. Is that fair?
Barracuda's good.
Have
you had their broccoli taco?
Yeah, it's really
so
good.
good.
It is really good. Which I would not have expected. I mean, I love broccoli and stuff, but I think sometimes that stuff, even though to be fair, like Mexican cuisine, being all veggie it can still be hearty and filling that a lot of other all veggie dishes cannot be.
Yeah.
In my experience, like when I've had like veggie fajitas or like veggie tacos, they are kind of filling in the same way, even though there's no meat, which is always surprising to me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I like just simple fish taco, little delicious grilled fish taco with a great corn tortilla. And a little bit of that green sauce, a little cheese, maybe a lettuce. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I would all put on my street taco, but I guess probably fish taco, my favorite. God, I do love a fried fish taco.
The fish taco at Barracuda is super good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know. I just go for like those mini like street tacos. Like, the little ones?
Yeah.
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 With some onion, no cilantro. I have that cilantro gene.
It sucks so bad because I don't, and I freaking love cilantro.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Absolutely love cilantro. I cannot wait for I guess it's a lie because I can't remember what I can't wait for. Oh, I found I'm notorious about just like constantly sending recipes to my wife on Instagram and being like, I'm going to make this. And I never make it. But I discovered one. She sent me one actually yesterday. And it's a Mexican street corn dip. And tell me if y'all think this sounds good.
I know
already, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Mexican street corn? So it's a base of like a bunch of cream cheese and pepper jack cubes. Then you're obviously adding in some like Southwestern corn. You're throwing in some tahini, a bunch of garlic. Maybe there's something else in there too. A bunch of cilantro. That's what kicked it off my head. Chopped up jalapeno seeds included. And then you smoke it for an hour at 250, mix it all together, smoke it for another hour. This looks incredible. Incredible. I cannot wait. I will report back. Ask the bench, what's your least favorite vegetable? Are we going to do a veggie tier list?
Ooh, we should. I don't know what my least would be.
The fruit tier list actually got a bit of tier list juice back.
Yeah.
At a time when the tier list was dying on the vine, that fruit had some ripeness to it yet.
Some fruit juice?
It had a little bit of juice to it.
So are we going to do it tomorrow or just skip it this week?
Fruit juice. Is that your blood, Taylor? What'd you say, Alondra?
Are we going to do one tomorrow? Or
No. We'll skip it this week. We'll skibbity skip it this week. I meant to have, is Bailey coming in today?
No, tomorrow she is.
Okay, I want to ask Bailey. I want to make Bailey, on top of her F1 segments on Mondays, I want to make Bailey bring us one piece of young person slang a day.
Okay, yes.
So that we can stay up to date with what the youth is getting into. Yeah,
Dang,
when I
we should have
asked her,
just called my sister like once a week.
I asked her yesterday, we play video games. Like, what do you do in your free time? She's like, well, just TikTok. Yeah, okay. It sounds about right. It's like Taylor. Daniel Bassman, I also do shrimp and Mexican street corn grits. It freaking slaps. I mean, yes. Even though I know what I just described is not technically like a Mexican street corn, it's just kind of evoking the feeling of one and some of the flavor of one. Mexican street corn is just one of the most delicious foods on the planet.
We just need
what
to
all is on it?
We need to do an OTB trip to Texas. And we need to go to San Antonio. And I'll take y'all to all the spots.
San Antonio would be one of the only cities that I'm down for that in because it's not presumptuous.
I'll take you to all the spots that like are hole in the walls, but they're so dang good and like, yeah. We should do that.
I'm not opposed to it because it's San Antonio.
And then we can go to Six Flags too.
Ben Levy says asparagus is the goat because the pea smell. It constantly reminds me I ate my veggies. Yeah. I secretly love the asparagus. The asparagus smell.
What?
Yeah. Love it. I can just sit there and bask in it. Taylor, give me some more old school phallic terms.
Okay, so do we want to stay with Victorian? We want to go
you keep going. Just keep going.
We got Roman.
Just keep going. Well, we started medieval, right? I mean, that was pinned back in the 1400s and whatnot. What else do you have for me?
We got...
Okay.
The bald friar.
Ooh, especially if you're uncircumcised, maybe, and you pull it back, it looks like the little ring of hair that the friars used to have.
It's a hooded friar.
Yeah, that would be a hooded friar. You're right. All right, what else we got?
Giggle stick.
When is that from?
This just says more modern history.
That's a playful little nickname. Tee, that's my giggle stick. All right, give me one more for now.
The matrimonial peacemaker.
That has to be a bit modern as well, yes?
Yep.
Give me one run from Roman times.
Roman times. Let's see. Mint stalk.
Mint stalk?
Stalk.
Mint with an H?
No, M-I-N-T.
Okay, mint stalk.
Stalk.
Oh, tough to say. Maybe it was a bit easier to say in Latin, right?
Yes.
Because mint stalk does not feel great.
Ooh.
What's that?
I just logged on Twitter and like the first thing that I saw is LSU pitcher Thatcher Hurd has entered the NCAA transfer portal.
Yeah, I just saw that in the in the chat.
Hurd entered with a do not contact tag.
Which means
it's hard to transfer somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you probably already been contacted,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair. Yeah.
Whenever I see that's the irony of a do not contact tag is I've already hashed out exactly where I'm going to go. I wonder that's kind of crazy. Okay, so I would say this, immediate reaction. It's not crazy in that things just did not work out for him here like you thought that they would. What is maybe a bit crazy to me about that is I don't know, I mean, outside of Paxton Kling, I don't know if there's a player who Jay Johnson had his back more than Thatcher Hurd.
Yeah.
Like Jay was firmly in Thatcher's corner throughout his entire time here at LSU, the ups and the downs. He stuck with him through thick and thin, and he constantly thought that he would always become the great player, the consistently great player, because we've seen him be great. Consistency is what eluded him. But it feels like Johnson always thought that he would achieve that consistent greatness, and it just never quite came about. Oh, Nookie says he's getting drafted. This is an insurance policy. Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense then. That makes a bit more sense. Mac Lindsay, did we talk about Lower into the portal? Yeah, we did. I don't have a lot of emotion for it. Again, this is just, I think Lower was fine. Nothing too fine. I think that if you're a player who wasn't like really established in that rotation last year, there's a lot of new arms coming in. And those new arms are almost ironically going to have a bit of a leg up on you because, well, we know who you are. Let's see what these guys can maybe do. And so I understand. I understand him maybe wanting to leave. I was like, I saw a headline that Liam Doyle from Ole Miss was in the portal, and I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then I looked up Liam Doyle's stats, and I was like, okay, never mind. I don't know, for some reason I thought Liam Doyle was really good last year, but no, turns out he was not. He had like a 250 opponent batting average over a 6 ERA. Max says I thought Lower was a bright spot in the staff. That's just me. Maybe I'm being too hard on Lower.
I don't know.
He was fine.
He was okay.
He was fine.
He was okay, but like Jade Johnson really liked him. Like when you say that you don't know who he had like his back more, he really liked Justin Lower. I don't know to the extent of like Paxton Kling or Thatcher Hurd, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think much of the Lower loss.
Yeah. No, like you should, like the arms that you've gotten should be able to do what Lower did, and maybe then some. I know we touched on this, but Josh Simpson returning to LSU baseball as well. I'm going to be interested to see some of the long-term impact of that. I know we still have no news on Grahovic or Lavalette, although Hayden Schott, the A&M DH, did recommit to the Aggies after they announced the hiring of, what was his name, Early?
Yeah, Michael Early.
Michael Early, their former assistant coach, who again appears to be a player favorite. Alondra Daniel asks, Schlitterbahn New Braunfels or Six Flags Fiesta?
They're both really fun, but I think
Schlitterbahn is a water
just
park.
A water park.
So what is New Braunfels?
New Braunfels is the city that
New
it's
Braunfels.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's
Is this town that I'm to lead to believe Fiesta, Texas?
No, it's
Yeah.
called Six Flags.
What a fun name.
in. Yeah. No, I think probably Six Flags just because you have a water park and regular rides.
Six Flags is a water park in Fiesta?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best ride at that Six Flags? I grew up with Six Flags over Atlanta, so I used to
Superman.
go quite a bit. Which Superman is it? Is it the one where they lay you flat?
No, you just like go all the way
It's one
up.
where you just go straight up?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
pretty
that's the
high
old
up.
one.
Yeah, but yeah, probably the Superman or the Iron
Do they have the
Rattler.
Batman roller coaster? That
yeah.
used to be an absolute banger.
Well, they have the Batman, but it's like one of those that you're like in a cage and it's spinning while you're going
Yeah,
up.
it's not a roller coaster.
It's like
Oh,
just
that's
like a
different than the Batman
carnival
ride
type
that I rode.
Yeah, and then probably the
You still haven't
Iron
named
Rattler.
me a roller coaster, really.
Yeah, the Superman is a
Superman
roller
Escape
coaster.
from Krypton is a full-out roller coaster.
Also, the Iron Rattler is like the most famous one there. And it feels like you're literally, like legitimately about to fall out the seat when you're on the Iron Rattler. There's no seat belt. It's just like a little,
Is that like the American Scream Machine?
maybe,
It's
I don't
the
know.
wooden one. Big wooden one.
Yeah, it's like a
The
wooden.
American Scream Machine was a big wooden
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
What about the Ninja? That was a wooden one that used to hurt your neck a lot.
Poltergeist.
The Poltergeist is fun too.
at
Because it
Six
goes
Flags
from
Fiesta,
like,
Texas
it goes
is
0 to 60 miles per hour. And
A little bit
then,
like the Hulk.
yeah.
So,
I mean, it's not the same layout, but yeah, with like the sense that it takes off immediately, yeah. But it's not.
it's called a pretzel coaster, T-Bub, because it's all like one big ball. It just loops,
Yeah.
basically. Look, I'll show you.
It's kind of like Deja Vu. If you've ever ridden that, that's at Six Flags California, or maybe the Viper. Actually, no, not an apt comparison with the Viper.
No, not the Viper at all.
I need to see the Superman ride because I
Yeah,
know
it's
of two
fun.
Superman rides, but this sounds like neither of the ones that
I
I'm
like
thinking.
the Superman ride, and like at Six Flags, if you wear flip flops, they make you take your flip flops off whenever you're on the roller coaster. And like you feel so free with no shoes on.
So that's Poltergeist.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, that's not like Deja Vu.
No.
That really is just a
called a pretzel
spaghetti
coaster.
junction of
Yep.
loops.
Yeah, and it just goes super fast, like immediately. They tell you to like start with your head back on the
Yeah,
seat.
so you don't get like
Yeah,
whiplash back into
yeah.
it. Eric Trost says I freaking blacked out on the Hulk back in 2011. Came to about midway. That happened to me on I think it's called the Colossus or something. It's one of those Six Flags Magic Mountain rides out in California, and they have this one part where you do this spinning circle down, and like it literally, I think you might pull G's or something. But yeah, I was like, I like got like forced down, and then I ended up just knocking out. A little sleep. You want to talk to, you want to call Hold the Mayo next?
Yeah, we can.
First drop into the first loop.
So that's Superman?
That's the Superman.
That is Superman.
But it,
Oh, okay,
like,
I've
you
never
go
seen that
super
before.
high up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
And then you can see,
don't lay flat
No,
with your
you don't
belly
lay flat.
facing the ground.
Nuh-uh.
Okay. Have you
just
ever
in a
ridden that Superman roller coaster?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty fun. You lock in and then it goes and it lays you flat, so you're like flying like Superman.
That's cool.
Yeah. I have a real nostalgic love of DC branded Six Flags rides. They're all a little cheaper, a little dirtier, a little more comic booky than all the kind of Disney-fied Marvel stuff that we get nowadays. Even though, to be fair, Islands of Adventure Marvel was very comic booky as well, and that's why I loved it. But now it's all just like at Disney and all just movie stuff. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Let's talk to Hold Man.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. You need somebody who's going to fix your pipes? Central Plumbing's got your back. 50 years of experience, meaning they know how to fix all the problems. Licensed, bonded, and insured, meaning you can trust who's coming into your home. Flat rate pricing, which means you're not going to get the checkout and all of a sudden just a bunch of money tacked on for all sort of reasons that you don't understand. You know exactly what you're getting the entire time. And excellent warranty coverage, which means you have peace of mind after the work is done. So whether it's just a simple fix, a full new toilet being installed, a full bathroom remodel, maybe you want a tankless water heater, there's a one-stop plumbing shop, and there has been for 50 years, y'all, and that's Central Plumbing. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that
Henniger, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. We do first class, second class, no class. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Stephen Lindemeyer in the chat says the only reboot worth making would be Grumpy Old Men with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey when they're in their 70s. I mean, I don't, Myers and Carvey are great, but I think a few people could do that well. But, that's actually a pretty good reboot idea. That's not a bad one. Let's go to the phones. We got our guy. Hold the mayo. We missed him yesterday. Fresh off podding with Brandon Landry. More massive pods on the way. These will not be lost to time. Dev, what's up, dog? What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, brother? How we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm getting ready for the 4th, dude. What about you?
Yeah, dude, the 4th's on Thursday, huh?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's a great day because, again, if you are one of the business owners or bosses who are making people come into work on Friday, I think you're an idiot.
Right.
I think, unless you are a service-based business, I think you are likely creating a lot of employee dissatisfaction with no real tangible gain being open on Friday, July 5th, the most pointless date on the calendar.
Yeah, and it's for America. You know what I'm saying? You got to consider that too.
That's true.
Just be a good person.
You're dumb and unpatriotic.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's how exactly. Yeah, dude, I'm just coping with the loss of Jonas. Of course, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Been coping with that. Coping with the loss of Larry Nance Jr. What a guy.
He's another man who's been to spread quarters.
Yeah, dude, Najee Marshall. I just think that we lost 3 guys that, I'm just trying to get over it. It's tough. And the Pelicans, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to be better next year or if we kind of, going down a path that may not be successful. I have no clue.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. I don't think it's a guarantee that you get better, but I think we had seen enough out of the current group. I love you. I didn't love Jonas as much as you did, but I definitely did love Jonas. But there were very clear and understandable kind of numbers as to why maybe they would go a different direction. I will say this though, more than any of the production or anything else, what I'm going to miss about Jonas is just the availability. I mean, in a franchise defined by injuries, he always played through them. He always played.
You know how hard it is to find in 2024 NBA a dude that'll play 82 games. It doesn't matter what he's going through.
I know.
So we had that, I
know.
He received a lot of slander, but to be honest with you, man, that was a really effective center. I wonder why he went to Washington, though. Do you think it has anything to do with hopping on a plane and jetting right to Lithuania, it being right there on the edge right there?
I've never thought about Washington, D.C. being the landing spot thanks to geographical proximity to Lithuania.
That's what I'm saying.
But, I don't know. I just
That's
think
why
he wanted to follow in the footsteps of Martin Gortat.
Jesus. Why is that name even in your head? Right
Because Taylor, can you pull up a picture of Gortat in a Wizards
bald
uniform?
Guy. The bald guy.
Yes,
The bald
there has never been a player that also looked like he could be the mascot more than when Martin Gortat was on the Wizards. He looked like a giant evil sorcerer. It used to make me laugh so hard whenever I would think about it.
Like he just looks like he's out of Hogwarts or something. Like
Yes, no, more like kind of a old like 60s like pulpy like evil sorcerer. I mean, look at that guy right there. The bald head, the beard without the mustache. If you put that dude in like a billowing cloak and maybe arched his eyebrows just a little bit extra, he would look exactly like an evil wizard.
Wait for the picture to pop up. It's like suspenseful right now on my end. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That's why I need a globe, bro. Oh, look at it. Oh,
I know. I know. And that's not even the best picture. There are better ones out there. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's the chin, the nose, and the structure of the head.
Yes, exactly. It's a very angular, kind of pointy face, reinforced by the facial hair choices, and it all gives him a mad sorcerer sort of feel.
Avo in the chat, Gortat looks like he could be a bassist in System of the Down.
Also very, very true. Gortat with a hat is Jafar. Yeah, that's true. You put it, yes, 100%. Avo's right as well.
Wow.
All right.
I don't know how we got there, but I'm glad we got there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at So there's an even better picture of the Wizard coming up for you in a second, Dev. So yeah, that's why Jonas went to Washington. I mean, look, Dallas, bro.
Yeah, the Najee Marshall to Dallas makes so much sense, and that's I'm happy for that dude. That's why I say it sucks, man. Look at me.
I know.
Gortat is killing me. But no, that's why I'm saying, like, it kind of makes me scratch my head. It's just some of the guys we knew Jonas was going to go. Larry was, I guess, one of those ones you would have thought that would have been in a trade. Man, the Najee thing was tough. That's tough. Bro.
Well, you lost a bunch of culture guys.
Yeah.
A bunch of grit and gristle, a bunch of hard work guys. Like I think you got better on paper because DeJounte Murray is also, he's a great defender. He led the NBA in steals a couple of years ago. It fills the need of a ball handler and a guy who can set up everyone. But again, you lost a lot of your kind of meat and sinew culture, grinder, work hard guys. Now, you also got DeJounte Murray without giving up Brandon Ingram, which feels like a big deal. Although, I don't think you bring Ingram back. I think he's probably used to replace Valanciunas now.
Yeah, it's a little weird, dude, because like David Griffin said that they both want to be here. Him and
I read that quote, and to me, that was such like you break up with someone and it's not you, it's me feeling quote, where it was kind of like there was no commitment in it, but he was just talking about how it kind of sucks because he wants to be here, and that's good. But but then he mentions like the financial realities. Like, that's all well and good. You want to be here, but like, we're not willing to pay you what you want.
Wanted to give you an update on something that maybe y'all didn't expect an update on.
Yeah.
I was at it was like a bait shop yesterday for RB&R Day, and they had the freezer boxes of all like the old school ice cream man, popsicles.
Yeah.
Like, the ones with the gumballs as the eyes.
Oh, like the Snoopy or like the TMNT, or like I think nowadays the kids get like SpongeBob. I used to love those gumball eyes. Or the baseball glove with the baseball gumball that was in the glove. Oh, that was the best.
Can somebody go to my Twitter real quick and pull up? It's right there as soon as you go to my Twitter, and pull up the picture of the Space Jam popsicle that I got, man. I want to really show you something, man.
Oh, let me see this.
Incredible.
Is it Space Jam 1 or 2 popsicle?
It's a Tweety Bird, and it's a new legacy Space Jam. You can't find a Space Jam 1 popsicle, T-Bob. That would be
but I feel like I just wasn't 100% sure, because I feel like when it comes to ice cream marketing, that's one of the few businesses where I could see them still just like not changing anything for 40 years.
When you see this popsicle, bro, it describes where we at as a country. And I mean it, dude. It's just like, this is supposed to be Tweety Bird. It looks all chemmed up. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, oh, bro.
That's supposed to be Tweety?
Bro.
I can't even make out a vaguely bird shape.
That's where we at as a country right there. That popsicle explains us.
I mean, it used to really look like Snoopy, photorealistic. And now we have this discolored pancake with these ghoulish blue eyes, one of which is far too exposed, one of which is far too recessed.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The structure's wrong here.
It's all wrong.
It's not right, man. Like, even the orange marks on Tweety Bird's face, it's like, what is that? It looks like blisters. It don't look right.
It looks like it has a skin condition. I would eat that and I would worry that I would catch it.
Right. And then you see the ingredients under it. I'm looking at cellulose gel, dextrin, all kinds of stuff that we didn't look at back in the day, but the popsicles had more volume, better structure back in the day.
Chad is saying that's not true. They've always looked like that. I disagree. Not in my memory.
No, stop it. The ice cream man, and this is just a dude, you know what I'm saying, that's rolling around the block. He gave out real sturdy, with better volume on. Like, this is just a little, it looks like a frozen pancake.
It looks like a pancake that's been unevenly cooked. It was somebody that was like, I'm going to make blueberry pancakes, and has no idea what they're doing.
Daniel Basham, if Tweety Bird came out of Chernobyl, exactly, bro. Like, it looks like it's got radioactive. Yeah, it's not right, bro.
It also looks like it could be from Space Jam 1. That's how misshapen it's gotten.
Joey and Chad, I've never seen a good clean one, brother. You didn't have the right ice cream.
You had a bad ice cream man. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
You didn't care.
I had that North Shore ice cream man. They didn't mess around.
No.
That's that.
There's a lot of money back in those guys.
I was gonna say that's that privilege ice cream man. That's that. What's the Stepford Wives?
The ice cream man's got to have a 750 credit score just to get in that truck, bro. All right, on the North Shore, that's how that works.
Some of my most positive memories of growing up Mandeville are just like hearing that song start up on a summer day. The absolute best, dude.
You smoke a cigarette in Mandeville, it turns into a carrot. It's just a beautiful place.
It's very Stepford Wivesy, though. I feel like there's so much nastiness hidden underneath this beautiful exterior. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
I just feel like everything's just perfect, man.
No, it's like it is like the suburban dream. If whatever you think about the suburbs, it is like the idealized, perfect version of the suburbs.
It's like if you get robbed, like all the items replenish themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. You get shot, the bullet disintegrates. It's what a place.
Yeah, but then you have all kind of like kids on anxiety meds, wives banging other husbands behind everybody's back. Like, all those places always have a greasy underbelly.
Absolutely. Especially the latter part, no doubt.
Yeah, a lot of that going on for sure.
Yeah. Well, T-Bob, what else, man? Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. That's really all I got, man.
Yeah. No, I feel you, dude. I feel you.
Hit you with the Pelicans and the Popsicles.
It's July 4th, dude, What are we doing? Dude? Our RB&R Day was good yesterday, though. I haven't got to watch this week's video yet.
Yeah, we went to a bait shop in Lacombe. Shout out to Lacombe.
Bait shop in Lacombe. Hell yeah.
Bait shop. Dude, a bait shop that had everything, bro. I mean, literally, bro. Obviously, bait, hot plates, liquor, beer, groceries. You want to do your grocery shopping there. They had the ring game. I don't know if you remember the ring game when you got to throw the ring on the hook.
Yeah. It's on the rope. Yeah. I think actually I came to that late in life. The first place I ever saw that was at Lakeview's Velvet Cactus. So I'm kind of new to the ring game.
Velvet Cactus. Bro.
One right by pretty close to where you stay at.
Yeah, that used to be the spot, man. Your first date, you used to always go to Velvet Cactus.
Hell yeah.
That was the thing.
Velvet Cactus, a great name simply because velvet makes you think of queso off the bat. And it makes you start craving queso.
Because of Velveeta.
Well, I ideally want the texture of my queso to feel like velvet. Right? Am I wrong here?
What does velvet feel like? You see what I'm saying? That's
I feel like very soft, creamy, pleasurable on the tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
Velvet.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
Like people describe stuff as being velvety smooth, right? Like when I think of queso, I want my white queso to be very smooth.
Right. Or they just say like, that person's very velvet of them.
I've never heard it used in that term. That way. We can make it work.
That fella's very velvet.
Damn, his game's velvet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my man can operate. Dev, you have a great day, my friend. You have a very happy 4th of July. How are you going to take in the 4th?
I don't know, man. I got to maybe like a boat or something. You know what I'm saying? Thing about boats, bro, you got to get with the right people on a boat.
Yeah.
You know, because some people like to wild out on boats, do a bunch of donuts and, you know, fill it up with beer instead of gasoline, all kinds of stuff.
So what's your ideal boat day then? The boat scenario?
Like kind of close to land.
Okay.
Sitting still.
Yeah.
You know, with other boats around. So
Okay.
if anything happens, you got a lot of people. You know, that's what I like.
Yeah.
And then other than that, if I'm in a boat, I like to fish. So, but yeah.
Well, hell yeah, man. You have a very happy 4th, and we'll talk to you next week, brother.
Yeah, y'all have a velvet week.
You have a velvet week as well. Keep it velvet. Hold the mayo. Dem Snow. I don't need you to tell you to subscribe to any of his stuff because he's getting more famous than we are. So he's the man. But you should. You should go follow him on Instagram, follow him on YouTube, watch RB&R Day. He's the absolute best. Go pick up some of that Respect Your Body while you're out there as well. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Family! It's right there for Airline and Goodwood. I love these cars! That's what you'll be saying after you go look at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge and the incredible selection that they have, where you can buy brand new, you can buy a Toyota certified used vehicle as well, get a great price, but still get warranty coverage. I love choosing the level of warranty when you buy a car because it's like kind of nice when a lot of times you walk in to get it serviced and you literally don't put it in your wallet. Started taking care of. You know? Good feeling. So go there today. Remember the body shop as well, your service center, all makes and models welcome. Doesn't have to be a Toyota, doesn't have to be from All-Star. You take advantage of the factory parts, free estimate, excellent line of communications, rental cars on site, shuttle service on site. They're there for you. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels. And is there any breaking news in the baseball transfer portal? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
My bad. I was watching video of a guy getting kind of attacked by a mountain lion. But he didn't get attacked, but he almost did. I could probably beat the crap out of a mountain lion, though. Easily.
You have like a big confidence level
Easily.
in like
No,
versus
obviously not. Obviously not. Because like
wildlife.
house cats are already insane and then just multiply by a million. Right? Like, yeah, I wouldn't mess with a big cat ever in any sense. Except if he was like a cutie tiger and it just wanted to nuzzle me.
Mike.
I mean, who wouldn't love
I wanna cuddle
with a
so
baby
bad.
tiger? Or, yeah, really, I mean, an adult tiger. Like, if you
Yeah.
could guarantee me when he killed me, they look so cuddly.
Yeah.
So big and warm. And, like, I'm not
not
used
friend-
to getting to feel small.
Yeah.
So I would feel, like, really protected, and it'd be a very novel thing if Mike would just kind of spoon me and, like, drape his arm over me and just kind of, like, hold me tight and make me feel safe and protected.
So you gonna be Little Spoon with Mike?
Yeah, I don't get to be Lil Spoon. And if I'm Lil Spoon, my wife, even then I'm not really Lil Spoon. I'm just Big Spoon on the inside.
If not friend, then why friend shaped?
What?
Like if the tiger's not my friend, then why is it friend shaped?
That's a good point.
Like,
it's a bit deceptive by
yeah,
God, isn't it?
It is.
You didn't have to make him like with those big furry paws or
I know.
soft fur in general.
And like their faces look so sweet too.
I know, and they got little nuzzling, like purring noises.
Yeah. They're so cute. You know Michael like pee on you though?
He's got to mark his territory.
Yeah, he'll pee on you.
I mean, T-Bob might be into that, so.
Yeah. Let he who has not thought about a golden shower cast the first stone. Okay? Now I'm just sad that I'm never going to get to be Lil Spoon. Anyway.
You could
Taylor.
have had your opportunity with Gronk.
Well, damn. I hadn't thought about that. You're not wrong. Taylor, give us some. This was medieval Arabian phallic terms.
Yeah.
These
they're
things
very aggressive.
Go hard in the paint.
Basher.
Yeah.
That is.
You got poker.
Okay. A little pointy for my taste.
Yeah.
Ravisher.
Whoa.
Dang.
Bruh. Chill out, Ahmed.
Rummager.
Okay. Rummager feels like vaguely UK-ish to me.
Thirst quencher.
That's a confident lad who named his thirst quencher.
Weeper.
Damn. So good it'll make her cry or him.
And then Cyclops.
Weeper is crazy.
Weeper is crazy.
Yeah.
Cyclops is very funny. Mythical beast of legend.
Yeah.
The one-eyed, one-horned Cyclops. Tay-Tay, do you have an NFL story of the day?
I do, and you're going to love it.
Let's do it.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
I feel like you're actually gonna hate this.
No, he's going to love it because it's a negative. So, T-Bob, I know that the Dallas Cowboys are your favorite NFL team.
Yeah, go Stars.
But we got some negative news coming out of Cowboys training camp.
No!
I know. Pro Bowl pass catcher CeeDee Lamb, yeah, he's not going to be there at camp. He says not showing up without that new deal. This is something that, was expected to kind of happen, but they were kind of holding out hope that it wasn't. Look, he is due $18 million in 2024 under that fifth-year option. Scheduled to hit free agency coming up after this season. Could command, they're saying, at least $30 million per year with a new deal based on what Justin Jefferson and others have gotten. And then if that's not bad enough, there's a feud going on the defensive side of the football. So Micah Parsons started a podcast last year and would film it during the middle of the season.
I saw Micah Parsons saying that he feels like he could bat 200.
He did say
over
that as well.
in MLB. And CJ Stroud is like, you are an idiot.
Yeah. So, him and CJ Stroud actually best friends.
Great chemistry.
Yeah. I guess it's maybe Penn State, Ohio State, and they're both at Texas. I mean, I don't know. Malik Hooker is complaining.
I hardly know her.
Malik Hooker is complaining that Micah Parsons doesn't care about the team and he's too busy podcasting. Where did Malik Hooker say this? On Keyshawn Johnson's podcast, because of course he did. And
so they're teammates. Malik Hooker's on the Cowboys.
They are locker mates. They are right next to each other. Micah Parsons called him out, and he goes, "We see each other every single day. You're my locker mate. Why are you calling me out like this?" So a little bit of trouble in paradise out there in D-Town.
Jesus. I thought the Dak's brother stuff was bad enough. That is significantly worse. You'll pay CeeDee Lamb, right? He's going to get his $30 million.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think that's
a big deal. And then I imagine
deal.
it'll be Parsons. I got to be honest.
I just can't fathom that you would call out your teammate like that, especially not like the uber ironic level of doing it on a podcast. But
well, he said, we just want to make sure where your head's at. He said, are you caring about the crowd that is watching the podcast, or are you caring about your team's success in terms of trying to reach a Super Bowl? And then Micah Parsons obviously took offense to that.
Yeah.
Saying that on a podcast is
rich.
Like
he was criticizing
also,
Micah
but
Parsons.
Micah Parsons way better than you.
Well, Parsons says that he started filming it on their off days. Like he films it.
I don't care. What I'm saying is, this is like my dad always tells a story about how
it's not LeBron calling out a role player.
No, Lawrence Taylor used to sleep on the pads during practice because he would be, tired from the night before or whatever. And you'd have when there's a young DN one time that was asking Bill Parsons, I was like, man, how come he gets it? He's like, bruh, shut up. You do what he does on Sundays, you can go to sleep on the pads too, okay? Hooker. Don't worry about Micah Parsons. Worry about being as effective as Micah Parsons.
This is back in Cleveland if Channing Frye would have called out LeBron James. That's what this is equivalent to. Malik Hooker's fine.
Yeah.
He's a starter, but that's about it.
All right, your Tay-Tay NFL Story of the Day. Ask the Bench, closing out the show next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. You get in an accident, you know who to call. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Again, I gave you the phone number, or you can go to getgordon.com. You can fill out a consultation form right there online. You can see real results from former satisfied customers. You can see all the different type of cases that they cover, of which there are many. And you're going to need somebody who's going to fight for you and get you what you deserve and stand up to the big insurance companies. Also, remember, Gordon always giving back, getting involved in the community with his Gordon Gives initiatives, and follow Gordon McKernan Attorneys on all social media at Get Gordon where you see a lot of great content with your favorite athletes and members of the G Team as he continues to be a leading voice in helping the Tigers achieve championship greatness. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless You add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central.
It's Musso. Join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Sunshine. Shay Dixon, on 3, the Bengal Tiger, joins the show to talk recruiting, and it is transfer portal deadline day in college baseball. Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Fonzarelli says he's watching us on an 85-inch TV.
Oh, that's a lot of us.
Bro, we up to 85 inches. Let's go,
That's
dude.
the Weeper.
That is the Weeper. That's the old, was it the thirst quencher? The Ravisher?
That's the Basher. The
yeah.
Ravisher, yeah. Wasn't there another one that was super aggressive?
Yeah.
Basher.
The Basher, yeah.
I mean, I would say, you said that it came from the Arabian world?
Arabia.
Yeah. The East. I think of like the Kama Sutra. I've always think about the East being very sexual, maybe until more of like fundamentalist Islam took over. Ask the Bench. How do you think Sports Talk guy handled Victorian phallic talk? I think he learned something.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Visit Yard Seltzer, Blue Moon Light Size Citrus Sweet.
I don't care how
Sewanee is now the University of the South, close to Chattanooga, Episcopal Cathedral on campus, one of the Southern Ivy League. How about that? Ask the Bench. Has anyone ever recorded one of the voice messages on the app? Yeah. We played a couple here.
Yeah.
If you do it, we will play it.
Yeah, I get them and I listen to them and I play them on air if they're good to play on air. So
there you go.
Definitely
How can they send their takes to the app?
If there's like a little button at the bottom with a microphone, like a megaphone, and you click the megaphone.
Okay.
And then you leave a little voice message. You can also leave text messages that I'll get to my email. So.
Ask the Bench. Will Talk Sports guys survive tomorrow's show or rage quit like you did in the coffee line at Starbucks? There's a very good chance that tomorrow's show is going to be complete nonsense and that, yes, Sports Talk guy will leave in a huff.
Who cares?
Ask the bench, which movie franchise has the better score, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Oh, my God.
It's the ESPN app, by the
in
way.
shambles right now.
I love Howard Shore's Lord of the Rings score with all of my heart. And it means a ton to me. But I think, like, whether it's Duel of the Fate, Across the Stars, the John Williams Star Wars score is just, it's just the best ever. I mean, it has pieces that would exist. There would be all-time good, that are all-time good, just classical pieces of music, which Lord of the Rings does as well. I'm going to listen to Lord of the Rings soundtrack today now. Ask the bench. Danny DeVito said the first 16 seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia were tame. Can we explain Complete Carnage for season 17? I mean, it's the only place left to go.
Yeah.
Right? They've been plumbing, like getting more and more degenerate. It's the only place left to go.
They've toe the line. They've crossed
They've
the line.
definitely
like
crossed
the
the line.
blackface episode was absolutely insane.
Ask the bench. Favorite GTA game?
San Andreas.
5.
I would think San Andreas would be my answer, but I never played San Andreas.
It's fun.
For me, I'm probably going to go Vice City. I think Vice City's the one that I played the most.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm tempted to just go with the original Liberty City. Granted, I think it was 3, the first one where you were in the open. Like, I remember how much of a game changer that was. Ask the bench. What was the name of that house DJ song yesterday? It was Jersey, I Want You. Jersey's the DJ group. I Want You is the song. There's an entire 30-minute set from that party that I cannot stop listening to that I would say go check out on YouTube. I also emailed Jersey's representative to see if I could use their song as my podcast intro outro, but I have no response yet. See you tomorrow, 4th of July. Happy 4th.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Whether you need an outdoor kitchen, an outdoor chill area, you need bulkhead pergola, you need any size or type of fence, you need a pool. Okay, a completely custom pool or a spec pool that you customize, right? Where you choose from a number of different shapes for your kind of your templates, if you will, and then you choose a bunch of detail work within them. The bottom line, any of this exterior construction, you want to go to Pinnacle. Guys, please, 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 if you're just listening on radio, take the time today, if you're touring with any of these ideas, and go to PECbuilt.com and look at the gallery. It is going to blow you away. And if you already have a pool and you need to get it ready for the summer, we can do that. We also have year-round maintenance plans. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks